Why is there a growing need to shift from traditional teaching to a more learning-centered approach in higher education? Not long ago, I attended an OECD webinar on critical thinking at university, and one of the first questions tackled was, why teach and assess generic skills of higher education students? You probably know the answer. Critical thinking, problem solving, and written communication are essential to academic and career success. We know that. Proficiency in these skills is predictive of positive academic and career outcomes. What seems to be the current issue is the fact that essential skills are rarely explicitly taught or measured by academic institutions, especially the generic skills that employers value. You might say, okay, but universities have done a great job in the past. University professors have done a great job passing on their knowledge to their students. Look how many alumni went on to secure admirable jobs and have pursued phenomenal careers. All true. The key words here are in the past. But we all know the world is changing, and change has accelerated to breakneck speed in the last few years, triggered to some extent by the pandemic, which in turn accelerated the development of technology. And this in turn showed how essential critical thinking skills are right now for the job market. In that job market, in 3 to 5 years, there will be a massive skilled employee demand for jobs that don't even exist today. Today's college freshmen need skills for an unknown future. Generic skills, such as critical thinking, are increasingly important in the workplace because of technological changes and growing mobility. There's also a disconnect between what qualifications represent and the skills that are in demand of the workplace, which may erode the trust in higher education. And another interesting point is the metrics of quality of the teaching and learning of higher education. In many institutions, it doesn't exist. Educators' skills are not measured with a PISA for higher education. The OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, they have a whole department working to improve education in the world. They conducted a study in 6 countries between 2016 and 2021, and they assessed the generic skills of 120 university students in 6 countries. And their findings, on average, over country means, 45% of tested students are proficient in critical thinking. Only 45%, as late as 2021. And that's just a few years ago. Not only that, the study measured how much students improved their critical thinking skills over the time they spent in colleges and universities. Now, here we would expect a decent increase, right? Sadly, the study showed that on average, there is only a 2.7 percentage point increase. 2.7% over 4 to 5 years. So this study tells us that given the importance attached to critical thinking in higher education, the average learning gain is smaller than could be expected. Too small. So this leads us to just one conclusion. More teaching, explicit teaching of critical thinking skills is needed. You might have already known this, and you also might be saying now, but it's easy to say and harder to do, right? As every shift in our thinking As all paradigm shifts, it does take a bit of time and effort to make the necessary adjustments to our teaching and learning practice. Incorporating explicit teaching of critical thinking skills also needs knowledge and understanding of lifelong learning skills and metacognition. The former includes skills like communication, collaboration, and problem solving, and the latter empowers the students with insight into their own learning power. So let's get to work and find out how we can put it all into practice. Shall we?